Have you ever noticed that, despite being surrounded by hundreds of names and faces, online and offline, you only truly want to talk to a handful of people? Maybe you scroll through your contacts and realize there are just a select few you genuinely connect with, and that's who you reach out to when it matters most. In a world obsessed with more friends, more followers, more connections, a small social circle can sometimes feel like a failure, as if you're missing out or falling behind. But what if having just a few close friends is actually a sign of strength, not weakness? What if it means you're choosing quality over quantity and depth over superficiality? It's not about being antisocial or shutting people out. It's about seeking depth, authenticity, and real connection. You're not avoiding people, you're simply drawn to relationships that feel genuine and meaningful. As we grow older, it's natural for friendships to fade. People move, priorities shift, and the bonds that once seemed unbreakable sometimes loosen with time. Life gets busier, and suddenly, every hour of your day feels precious. You start to value your time differently, choosing to invest it in people who truly matter. For some, this shift is intentional, a conscious pruning of your social tree. You let go of relationships that drain you and nurture the ones that help you grow. The loud parties, endless acquaintances, and constant socializing lose their appeal. You realize that being surrounded by people doesn't always mean you feel connected. This isn't a loss, it's an upgrade. You're trading quantity for quality and chaos for calm. You're choosing peace of mind over the pressure to fit in. You're not losing friends, you're gaining clarity. You're learning who you are, what you value, and who truly supports you on your journey. Society often celebrates the social butterfly, the one who's always out, always surrounded by people, but it tends to overlook the quiet strengths of those who prefer depth, reflection, and meaningful connection. Traits like introspection, emotional maturity, and self-awareness aren't handicaps, they're superpowers. They allow you to build relationships that are resilient, honest, and deeply fulfilling. These qualities help you create bonds that last, friendships that weather storms, and a life that's aligned with your true values. You're not just making friends, you're building a support system that lifts you up. You're not building a wide network for show. You're cultivating a sacred garden, tending to each relationship with care and intention. Every connection is chosen, nurtured, and valued. Having just a few close friends isn't a problem. It's a sign that you prioritize substance over surface, and that you're brave enough to let go of what no longer serves you. In the next scenes, we'll explore why your small circle is a mark of loyalty, thoughtfulness, and true value. We'll see how these relationships can bring more joy, support, and meaning to your life than 100 shallow connections ever could. Forget the pressure to be a social superstar. You don't need a crowd to feel fulfilled. You just need the right people by your side. Embrace the quiet power of your curated life. Celebrate the peace, the clarity, and the strength that comes from knowing who you are and who you want around you. Celebrate the beauty of your small, mighty tribe. Let's dive in and discover the true power of your close-knit circle. Remember when friendships were effortless? Back then, it felt like friends were always just around the corner, ready to join in on any adventure or share a laugh at a moment's notice. Making plans was as simple as showing up, and every day brought new opportunities to connect. School, sports, and shared routines made it easy. We were surrounded by people our own age, all moving through the same experiences, and friendships seemed to form almost by accident. There was always someone to talk to, someone to sit with, someone to call a friend. Our social calendars were packed, our contact lists endless. Birthdays, sleepovers, and spontaneous hangouts filled our weeks. It felt like we'd always have a crowd to rely on, a group to belong to, and a sense of belonging that came naturally. But as we grow, life changes. We move to new cities, start new jobs, and take on new responsibilities. The routines that once brought us together begin to fade, replaced by the demands of adulthood and the passage of time. Friends move, priorities shift, and seeing each other takes real effort. Suddenly, maintaining friendships isn't as simple as it used to be. Schedules clash, distance grows, and sometimes even the closest bonds are tested by the realities of life. This is the great friendship migration, a natural sorting where convenience-based friendships fade, leaving only the strong. It's a process that happens to everyone, a quiet reshuffling of our social circles as we figure out who truly matters. It can feel unsettling, even lonely, but it's not your fault. It's normal to wonder where everyone went, or to feel a sense of loss as familiar faces drift away. But this isn't a reflection of your worth, it's simply a part of growing up. Life's challenges and growth reshape our social needs. As we take on more responsibilities, our time and energy become precious. We start to seek out relationships that truly nourish us, rather than just fill the space. We have less energy for surface-level relationships, so our circles shrink. This isn't failure, it's filtration. It's about making room for the people who genuinely care, who show up when it matters, and who understand the real you. What remains are friendships built on genuine care and shared values. These are the connections that withstand distance, time, and change. The ones that feel like home, no matter how much life shifts around you. You may have fewer people to call, but those who remain are the ones who'll answer at 3 a.m. They're the friends who check in when you're struggling, who celebrate your wins, and who stand by you through every season. You've traded a crowd for a counsel, an audience for a support system. These are the people who know your story, who offer advice you trust, and who remind you that you're never truly alone. This transition isn't about losing people, it's about discovering who's meant to stay. It's about cherishing the memories of the past, while embracing the deeper, more meaningful connections that remain. Your small circle is proof of the real connections that endure. These are the friendships that grow stronger with time, that weather every storm, and that remind you of the power of true companionship. It's not about numbers, it's about depth. The quality of your relationships matters far more than the quantity, and the bonds you've kept are worth celebrating. The friends who remain are your true allies. That's what matters. In the end, it's these lasting connections that make all the difference, offering support, understanding, and love when you need it most. People with small circles are often deeply introspective. They spend time exploring their thoughts, feelings, and dreams, finding meaning in the quiet moments that others might overlook. This introspection isn't about isolation, it's about understanding oneself on a deeper level. Your mind is alive with thoughts and reflections, making solitude not just comfortable but truly fulfilling. In these peaceful moments, you recharge, process your experiences, and gain clarity about your life's direction. Social gatherings can feel draining, not because you dislike people, but because your inner world is so rich and engaging. The noise and energy of crowds can sometimes clash with your need for meaningful connection and quiet contemplation. You need time alone to recharge and process. Solitude is where you find balance, allowing your thoughts to settle and your creativity to flourish. You seek friends who can meet you in your inner world, who value deep conversations over small talk. Surface-level interactions rarely satisfy you. You crave authenticity and emotional depth. For you, quality matters far more than quantity. A single genuine connection can mean more than a dozen casual acquaintances. Maintaining many relationships feels overwhelming. You invest deeply in a select few. You prefer to give your time and energy to those who truly matter, rather than spreading yourself thin. You're wired to go deep, not wide. Whether it's friendships, passions, or projects, you pour your heart into what resonates with you most. Your small circle is a conscious choice, a few deep roots instead of many shallow ones. You build trust and understanding over time, creating bonds that are strong and lasting. It's not lack, it's a thoughtful approach to life. You know what nourishes your soul, and you honor that by choosing depth over breadth. You nurture meaningful connections, not just acquaintances. That's your strength, building a world within, filled with purpose, authenticity, and true belonging. For you, small talk is exhausting. You crave conversations with substance, what drives people, what they fear, what makes them feel alive. Parties and networking events built on pleasantries leave you empty. You'd rather have one deep conversation than 10 shallow ones. You're a submarine, not a speedboat, drawn to the depths, not the surface. This makes you a rare friend. You listen deeply, ask thoughtful questions, and create space for real connection. Building these bonds takes time and trust. So your circle is small but meaningful. You seek kindred spirits willing to be vulnerable and real. Your friendships are intimate alliances, not casual acquaintances. You don't have a crowd, you have a book club for the soul. Strong boundaries define your friendships. You protect your time and energy, saying no to what drains you. This isn't selfish, it's self-preservation. You've learned to honor your needs, choosing solitude or meaningful company over obligation. Emotional self-reliance is your superpower. You don't depend on others for validation or happiness. Your friendships are based on want, not need. You seek equals, people who respect boundaries and bring stability. This filters out codependent or draining relationships. Your fortress isn't to keep everyone out, but to let the right people in. Authentic connection flourishes in this safe space. You have a finely tuned authenticity detector. You sense when someone's being fake or insincere, and you can't stand phoniness. You'd rather be alone than with people who perform or gossip. Social environments full of masks feel exhausting. You're drawn to those who are genuine, humble, and unafraid to be vulnerable. With them, you can be your true self, no performance required. Authenticity is the entry fee to your inner circle, and few can pay it. Your friendships are small, but real. Each person, carefully chosen. You trust them because they show you their true selves. While others have networks of convenience, you have a council of honesty. Your nose for the real ensures your connections are pure gold. Emotional maturity naturally shrinks your circle. You've outgrown drama, gossip, and the need for validation. You seek peace, stability, and mutual respect. You want friends who communicate openly and take responsibility for their actions. You let go of friendships that no longer serve you with grace. Not all friendships are meant to last, and that's okay. You attract those on a similar level of maturity, steady, supportive, and drama-free. Your small circle is a serene harbor for mature souls. There's a big difference between being lonely and being alone. For you, solitude is restorative, not a punishment. You're comfortable in your own company, finding fulfillment in your interests and reflections. You don't seek friends to escape boredom. You're selective. A friend must offer more than the peace you find alone. If a social interaction drains you, you choose solitude. Others may misunderstand, but your friends respect your need for space. They know your desire for solitude isn't rejection, it's self-care. You can share comfortable silence with them, no pressure to entertain. Your relationships are chosen, not needed. That's true freedom. A small circle isn't a flaw. It's the hallmark of a curated life. You've chosen depth, quality, and authenticity over quantity. The traits we've explored, introspection, boundaries, maturity, and a love for solitude, are your tools for building a meaningful life. You're a loyal, thoughtful, and present friend. Your inner circle experiences rare, precious connection. If you ever feel insecure about your small tribe, remember, you're filtering out, not missing out. You've built a sanctuary, not a stadium. Your life is rich with true, deep connections. The power of your life is measured by the people you can truly be yourself with. In a noisy world, your curated circle is a quiet masterpiece.